It turns out that these pieces here, the knight on e4, the bishop on d4 and the bishop on d5, and they're well supported by these two pawns, that this central complex with these pieces is more than enough compensation for the exchange. Even though these two pawns, the rook and the two bishops and the queen, are all menacing the king's side, and the rook was on the 7th rank. It was very interesting. Unbalanced it was. But the engine's saying that here, that the winning move is bishop e3. And this is interesting. In fact, it's very interesting. Because I don't think anyone picked g3. I was looking at g6. I want to look at this move, g6, because I thought this was interesting. But the problem with it was that after here, f takes g6, most of the people, we couldn't see a line that actually worked for black in this position, and people were trying to find ways to improve it, but it turns out after bishop d4 there was nothing that could really stop the perpetual check. I mean, black white wants to play queen h5, but they haven't got any time. So there were some radical ideas that were suggested here, probably from me mainly. The last idea I wanted to look at was rook f3. Rook f3 was, my idea was to actually try and block, so that when e5 goes here I can block on the diagonal with the bishop. But let's have a look. So the problem now is if we take, the queen gets a tempo, and now the king can run to f8, so it's not so dangerous. Alright, let's try and move like rook a3. I mean, this seems a reasonable way of trying to keep the attack going. Yeah, see, b4, already we're running into problems now. If I have to play rook d4, d3, I won't be too happy. Rook a1, see, black's getting active. And I guess the issue with g6, of course, is that the diagonal from to h5, which is the idea of g6, the queen isn't open, so this idea is rubbish by me. Alright, so turns out that the move g6 isn't good. There was another line that was suggested by Catherine, I think, which was bishop f4. This wasn't the worst suggestion. This had some merit. It led to equality. It's hard to see what black was going to do against it, to be honest. I couldn't really figure it out over the board. It stops the check on the diagonal. But as we can see, queen e8 I think is the idea, and so by moving the queen to e8 the king can run out after g6. They can just move up and, well, no, that's no good. That's going to be mate as well. So we've got to look at this idea. By the way, how does this stop g6? Oh, the queen's going to take. Alright. So g6, f takes, queen takes g6. Alright, now I see the idea of queen e8. It's not to run, it's to actually guard the g6 square. Alright, so alright, that might have been equal, that one. But Solomon chose in the game, Solomon chose f6, which was met with much derision at the time, but in hindsight the computer says it's the best move, and maybe Solomon was right and we're all wrong, and that's why he's an international master and we're all not. So rook a8, rook b7 was preferred, and that makes sense to cut out the rook on the 7th rank. Yeah, rook b7 is a stronger defensive move. So this, we would say that this is a mistake by Chen. It's only a small mistake. It's not a major blunder, but it's nevertheless a mistake, and a mistake because it allows the rook too much activity. Whereas rook b7 here would have really said to black, it would have said to white, you know, look, my pieces are well centralised. You're not going to get an attack, and I'm keeping my king safe, because the rook would have been forced off the 7th after exchanges. So rook a8, inaccurate, and now someone played an interesting move. The computer, by the way, says that rook e7 is best. So Solomon was playing the best computer moves here. Rook e7, rook e8, and this was the best move as well. And now this position just became crazy. I was just watching it, just thinking, well, what is going on here with Solomon's next move? Bishop e3. I'm curious, actually. I've actually got to go back a little bit. In that other variation, how did bishop e3 work? Oh, the idea is, if they can't take the bishop, of course, because then you take on d5. Yeah, so if bishop takes e3, queen d5 is just winning. So bishop e3, I mean, that's interesting that everyone missed that. Anyway, so f6. And now Solomon's rook f5. Again, bishop e3 is liked by the computer. Now if the multiple exchanges occur, this favours white, because, and that makes sense, because white's pieces are a little bit more active, and of course white's still the exchange up. So bishop e3 wasn't played, rook f5 was played, and this became sharp. Now the threat, of course, is the rook bishop on d5. The rook's attacking it. So the bishop moved c6, which according again was the best move. And now, according to theory, the best move. I was actually a little bit surprised by this move when I saw it. Bishop b3. It makes sense now, looking at it. Takes the d5 square away, hits f7. But I was looking at more forcing variations. Bishop here. This is the good thing about when you follow games, is not to use an engine, because later on when you use the engine you can verify your ideas, and it certainly improves you as a player, I think. I think too many people just use the engines to analyse games. They shouldn't be worried so much about making mistakes. No one's going to hold it against you for the rest of your life. You know, and the thing is, you'll improve as a chess player. So I recommend that anyone who watches these games, when you're watching any game on the net, just try and follow it yourself with your own ideas, and then go through it with an engine afterwards. You should improve a lot by doing that, I think. Anyway, so black plays d5. Now white plays a strange move, c7, rook c7. Although I thought that was a good move, actually. I didn't think it was strange at all. The computer's saying bishop d5 is the best. Bishop takes, saying bishop here. Bishop here. Chop chop on d5. I presume chop here. Chop here. And this would have been a nightmare to calculate over the board. I think at this stage both players had about 20 minutes left. So queen takes e7, and then something like queen g4. You know, I don't think this looks so clear. Though computers like it more and more now. Yeah, it seems to be the way to go according to the computer. But I mean, I don't know. I'd be reluctant to swap off so much material in this particular way when I can keep an initiative with rook c7. So rook c7 looked good to me.